G'day, welcome to Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise in Mandurah. Another fabulous day. There's a few clouds around. It's a little bit chilly, but it hasn't stopped people from coming out and enjoying a beautiful morning on the Mandurah foreshore. Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise, we're doing this for Variety WA, and of course we're here on Raw Talk TV as well. But over the years, it's been 5-6 years or more now that we've been doing this, and we've raised some really good money for sick and underprivileged kids in WA, and it's always great to see the car community coming out, and I'm going to get run over. It's great to see the car community coming out and supporting a great cause and having a really nice morning out. Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise, it's all about meeting mates you haven't met yet, so let's go and meet some mates.
What's in it? What do you got? 350. 350? Yeah. Dạ mate.
Hold it. Hey, how we going? Which Chevys?
Lowriders.
Oh, we just did talk to one of the lowrider fellas.
Oh, how are you, Richie?
I'm well, thank you.
Very
How are
busy
you?
today.
Yeah, do that. Post it up and I'll steal it off the page book. Put it online as well. The variety of cars that we get here at Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise is always what's amazed me before, as I said before, from lowriders to moderns to classics. And have a look at this, it's just your classic, old school, cool style hot rod. This is where it all started, you know, back in the very early 50s. What was really happening were people were coming back from war and they're wanting something to do and spend their money on, so they started getting old cars and modifying them and turning them into hot rods. This is a T-bucket, probably 1923-ish. Don't quote me on that though. And have a look at the old rat rod style about it as well. And I've always said it's one of the things that you can get a whole bunch of Tiranas together and they all look like Tiranas. You can get a whole bunch of Mustangs together and they all look like Mustangs. But you get hot rods together, you can get a whole bunch of T-buckets together and they're all going to be different, because hot rods are all about expressing your own style and your own personality. And this has got all those classic hot rod touches, but the rat rod style and everything about it just means this is something that you can get in, you can drive, you can have a whole bunch of fun, and you don't have to worry too much about the world. Bit cool for the air conditioning today, isn't it?
I'll shut her up a bit.
Yeah. All right, When it comes to building hot rods and street machines, the sky's the limit. I suppose your pocket's a bit of a limit as well, but there's nothing really that you can't do. If you can imagine it, then you can do it. Have a look at this gorgeous Ford mainline, early 50s, couldn't tell you exactly what year, but early 50s. What I really like that he's done about this, have a look inside the engine bay there. Old school flathead V8, you just don't see them around these days. Triple Stromberg carburetors. The paint is almost a Harlequin style paint, and I don't know if it's just messing with my colourblind eyes or there's something really going on, because you can see this thing changing colours as you walk around it. But I love the beautiful classic style, the shape, the lines of the old mainline, and everything about it. It's just a really, really tidy, beautifully presented car. And again, it just goes to show that this is what this sport is all about: variety and just letting your imagination run wild. And tell us a little bit about your personality in the car that you're building. Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise in Mandurah. One of the things I've really enjoyed about this event is the variety of cars that we get here, and you'll see, you know, we've got everything from late model to hot rods to customs and vintages and classics. And this is probably the first time I've ever seen this at our event. Have a look at this gorgeous Impala lowrider. It belongs to Kenny here. Kenny, mate, what can you say? You don't like roads and speed humps and things, do you?
Yeah, no, they were good.
Mate, tell us about the car. Would I be correct? 58?
59.
59?
Chev Impala.
Yeah. What's the story behind it? How did it come to be in your hands?
Oh, I've owned it for like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, always loved Impalas. And our car club's a lowrider club,
Yep.
old school rides.
Yep. You've always been into lowriders as well?
Yeah, from the gangster rap days, you know.
That's what it's all about. Mate, smiles for miles, it's what it's all about, and I imagine that you can't park this car too many places without people wanting to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I can't really park it. Yeah, it's too long too. It's like a boat.
What's the best fun part about driving it?
Rolling with the boys. Rolling with the
boys.
brothers, you know.
Yep.
Just cruising, don't need to go fast, just slow and slow. Nice and cruisy.
As I always say that, mate, when you look that cool, who wants to go fast?
Yeah, no.
But what brings you down to Mandurah this morning?
I'm local for Mandurah,
Okay.
and like bring the wife and the kids and stuff, and just enjoy the last one of the year for the Mandurah run.
Yep. Mate, your kids, they must think they are super cool when they're cruising around in this, do they?
Yeah, my daughter thinks it's the best car in the world.
It is the best car in the world, mate.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, Kenny, for coming on down, man. It's a beautiful car, and just keep on cruising.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Raw Talk TV, and we are at Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise in Mandurah. And when it comes to being different, there really isn't much more different than this gorgeous 33 Plymouth that we're having a look at now. It belongs to Colin. Colin, congratulations. That car is a work of art. Must be pleased with the end result.
Yeah, a lot of years of playing around, but it's worth every cent of it, I guess.
I don't know where to start talking about this car. There is so much that's gone into it, and you know more about it than I do, so tell us what has gone into this car.
And it's basically a 33 Plymouth 5-window coupe. That's what I've started off as. It's a fiberglass replica, come from the States, body-wise, and the rest of it's a VE SS Commodore. Motor, gearbox, all the electricals, computers, all that sort of gear.
So have you built the classic style hot rod box chassis, or have you essentially put a body onto a Commodore frame?
No, it's a traditional box chassis built here and then made to suit all the running gear and with a fiberglass body sitting on top of it.
There is so much that goes into a VE Commodore, electronics alone. Is all of that, do you have all of that functionality, or have you lost some things along the way?
The only thing that doesn't run now is the ABS and airbag, but it runs everything else, cruise control, electric windows, you name it, it's got all the VE Commodore running bits.
Is it like driving a VE Commodore?
Oh, power steering helps, it makes it drives like a Commodore.
Only looks way cooler than a Commodore, I've got to say. Now, I know I'm colourblind and the colour looks different to me than what it does to you, but that colour really grabs me. What colour is it?
It's a Colorado called Rock Orange.
Yeah. So how long have you had it on the road?
This is its 5th year now. So.
Yeah. Fun to drive?
Yeah, goes quick enough.
Yeah. And I ask everybody, do you like talking to people? Because I imagine that you couldn't park this too many places without people wanting to talk to you.
No, well, that's part of the deal when you get hot rod, people talk to you.
You don't build these if you don't like talking to people. Colin, it's a beautiful car, and thank you for bringing it out to Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise in Mandurah, and hopefully we'll see it cruising around a bit more.
No problems at all. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Colin. Raw Talk TV, and we're at Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise in Mandurah, where variety is the word. It's the spice of life, and it's on show for you here today, this morning. Have a look, everything. Where do you see a Nissan Skyline parked in front of a Mustang with a couple of late model Commodores around next to a whole bunch of really cool old school MGs? And you know, that's what this event is really all about. Coming out, meeting mates that you haven't met yet, and chucking a couple of bucks for charity as well. Once again, we're doing this for Variety WA, raising money for sick and underprivileged kids in WA. Shannon's Southern Coffee Cruise, you can have a look on Facebook, find out where the events are around, or perhaps just keep across Raw Talk TV as well, and we'll keep you in touch with that. I hope you've enjoyed the show this morning, and we'll see you around the trap somewhere.